right? Hola. Wow, perfect. So happy. Okay, so I'm going to draw Grace Jones from scratch. Yeah, a million screens is because you had none, so now you have a million screens just to catch up. Hola. So if we'll just wait for everyone to come back, and I don't know, my idea is to start working from scratch. If you want to draw together with me, if you want just listening and watching, I think this might take maybe a bit less than an hour. I think she's a kind of easy subject, especially for what I want to explain about how I work. So just let's begin. I'll put the chat like here, and I'll put my Photoshop like here. Okay, so first, Grace Jones. Woo, so many screens again. Okay. Normally, I remember telling some of you, hi Vern, how are you doing? Usually, many of you already know if you've been of some of my workshops. Is what I do is drawing from memory. When I don't know a subject very much, in this case, Grace Jones, I have a very faint image on my mind about her. I just make some googling, but I don't collect the photos. I just try to get a glimpse. If I was drawing, for instance, a friend of mine, someone from a TV series I'm watching, I won't ever do this step because what I want to do first is draw from memory. So my brain only retains the very essential information. My style, as I was commenting, I like to call it minimal, which is not especially because it has some amount of decoration, but the idea is to draw only what is essential to recognize a person. Instead of exaggerating what makes this person unique, I just leave it and erase everything else. And then add some fireworks, like some lines, some colors, some glows. But it's kind of secondary. First, I have to make sure that the person looks like him or her. So I'm going to see the chat just to make sure that you are hearing me well. Oh, I wasn't able to see Burns' belly button. I'm so sorry I missed that. Okay. So I've watched Grace Jones. Normally, I would sketch on my notebook. Now I'll try to do it on Photoshop. I'm not sure if I'll be able to share the screen. So, do you see a dog in your screen now? Or do you see me again? You should be all seeing a resting, peaceful dog on your screens, which is my wallpaper. Perfect. I'm so happy. Yeah, perfect. This means I can show you, I can make the sketch on my webcam. So it's closer. Perfect. There you go. Okay, so new canvas. This step, I don't care about the resolution or the size of my canvas because it's just the equivalent of sketching on a notebook. I think I'm not as concerned about doing a beautiful sketch, but to be some working sketches. For my minimal approach, another thing that works really good. Okay. Do you see now Photoshop with a white paper? Mm, so I'll begin sketching. I'll perfect. So I'll just take again. I don't really care which brush I'm using, just to be kind of comfortable. And what I really enjoy is doing very small approaches of my characters. So with that, I make sure I leave everything that is extra behind. So what I remember, no, I'm not watching any photo. Thank you, Mario. Perfect. I'm not watching any photo of Grace Jones right now. So I'll just try to close my eyes before starting to draw because I cannot draw with closed eyes. But what do I remember? For some people, maybe it might be useful to write down what they remember. Mm, I'd say cheekbones and hair, and maybe long face. So I'll try to draw what I remembered in a very small black also. Mm, let's see if this works perfect. So cheekbones, and it was kind of a long face and hair. So now these small thumbnails will be useful to see in which position I can show better what makes her unique. And when I have the position, then I'll search all the photos on Google for details, for the mood, for the style. So Jaime is asking how long do you study the image before starting to sketch? Somehow, uh, I would also include videos. I think that what I do is try to know this person, like having a 3D image in my head and then choose the better way to get it. So maybe this one is kind of extreme, but another one could be easier, or could be some with a more normal face, and I'd need much more time to see. I don't know, like small eyes, big forehead, whatever it takes to have some these basic points. Okay. Uh, to otra cara Lorca, I'm trying to make this bigger. I'm just like sketching the thumbnails that will work for my drawing. So how this is kind of front facing piece. I don't know what else I remember. I can remember if she had, I think that she had like a bit, I don't know how to, squinty eyes, but I don't know if it was because of the eyebrows. She has like this three-part nose, not very big, also cheekbones, and like always serious. I can remember any smile from her, so that means something. Can you maximize your browser? I don't know what you sing like now. Let me let me see, because I'm just streaming from my Cintiq at this moment. I understand what you mean, right? Ha, thank you. Yeah, it's As you'll understand, this is my first time, and I'm doing this because Sissy asked me very politely, but I'm a bit lame stream wise. Perfect. Okay, now I understand. I thought I was streaming my. I thought I was streaming my Cintiq, and I was streaming actually my Facebook live preview or something like that. So I think this one is better, but I'll try. Why not from memory? It's almost like doing an icon of that person. I'm not feeling as confident with the profile view. I don't think this is hair at all. Maybe if I add some big hair for the context, you could kind of deduce it, but it's not her. I think that one of the main points is this kind of shape, and I think I'll go check the photos now. Mm, Jones. Okay, so now that I have some doubts from my memory, let's see. Mm, well, there are cheekbones, but it isn't a thin face. So I like to do this somehow. So maybe something like a point of view that would show both the cheekbones and that the face isn't as thin as you might think only from the cheekbones, right? Mm. Thank you, Sissy. Yeah, Easter Island. It's lately I've been doing an exercise because I recorded some classes of doing caricatures, and I gave my students a very funny exercise, who was to give an emoji to each subject. So maybe Grace could be Eastern Island uh, Maori. No, these heads. I can remember the name. Can, yeah, about your question about how many photos, I'm very anti using one photo because the lights, the colors are already the work of art of a photographer. So first, before choosing my photos, what I try is like doing some character design of my subject, and like five, six, or even just surfing on Google to get like a mind feel. And then after the sketch, I choose my favorites to mix them up and make a kind of unique piece, even just picking the colors from one, picking the hairstyle from another one, the style. Anyone is drawing with me? I don't know. So now, for instance, I really like how it's going this shape so far, but I don't know where to place the mouth. So I'll go back because I have a doubt. I'll go back and check that I'm checking Google, but I'm doing that and see. Okay, the greatest distance that I see here is from eyes to nose. And then from nose to mouth from chin, they are like kind of similar. So I think that my choice to exaggerate her face will be this eyes nose proportion, which gives the Easter Island feel that you guys mentioned before. So I'll go to like something like this. Usually, my sketch is somewhere like halfway of likeness because I'll have to adjust this when I go to work with vectors. So if I'm just half happy with it, then I'll go. Then I want to check her eyes. I think that I will do them like very close together, but I want to check the shape. Okay. Mm, okay, I think I'll do like small the eyes that could be highlighted by the eyebrows. I even, if I have some doubts, this is what I would do. Sometimes I work. I used to work doing some logo work, and it's like this kind of fine tuning when working with not so many lines and elements. You have to be sure that everything is in the right place. So I can remember about her forehead. Yeah, Moai. What's the work? Thank you, Lauren. I think I got her expression, but I'm not sure about if squinty eyes or like more normal eyes. So I will just leave both of them here. Well, it's not. This is not her at all now. I think this mother. This is Grace Jones. I don't know if I'm Grace Jones. She's Cord Jones' sister, I think. This stand-up material. Okay. About the her forehead. She's got a quite big forehead. I think that it's as big as her hair. And another thing that I is very important when drawing someone is getting their neck width right, because it changes a lot because it's like the frame for the face. So some interesting alignments I'm already seeing. So I'll put some extra forehead to both my models and the big hair that I'll work with afterwards. Okay. So now that I know which one of these I prefer, I'll start working with the composition of what will be my piece. This would be my sketchbook, right? But I'm doing now in Photoshop. So I'll take this one here, and I want to make I don't know. I think I'll choose this one. I want to make a piece for my Instagram, so I'll use a square composition. Oh, okay. And I really liked that she was wearing a hoodie in some of. Well, maybe Grace Jones fan would kill me because I'm using a hair which is from one era, clothing that is from another one. But well, I am just trying to convey the idea, a simple idea of hair, like it was an icon. I'm working with a lot of gradients. I'm trying already to do this kind of of volumes I'll be doing afterwards as part of my sketch. And also more of her body, which is quite unique, the attitude, the clothing. And I start to think, when I'm drawing this, I'm already thinking that afterwards I have to simplify the shapes. It's so I'll try quite rigid already, just to make sure that then I can transform it to geometry. She'll look good in with a very the these were called spots. Anyone from the A's? Yeah, it's a blueprint, right? And I really like to use this also to, because if I think of her, even if I don't look for her photos, I'm thinking of shoulder pads. So I'm having this kind of memories to do this. Yeah, I love tiki. We should all drink from Grace Jones tiki cups. Yeah, the gun. I can include it here. I think that she needs a more like arachnid pose. So even though I won't be doing many body, I like to include something that conveys that she is kind of badass. So maybe I don't know the gun. I'm starting this maybe maybe like something like this, or I don't know, or maybe just the hand. Look at my computer crashing because I used a pencil to erase. Okay, so I think that this, especially because I'm trying to do this in 1 hour approximately, I will leave this here. But in reality, I love to take as much as I can on these approaches, especially exploring different options. Which option works better to depict this character? If I have time, if it's not a rush commission, I love to explore many options and choose the better one instead of just thinking what would look good. I prefer to draw and choose than just think. So with this, I think I can go to now to Illustrator. Usually, I would make also a thumbnail for colors composition. Yeah, I sometimes I do kind of covers for like a film posters, or but that includes a whole body. Which it takes me a lot because I'm not used to doing body, so I think this would take about 4 hours. Hi David, hola. You miss me having some trouble with my screen, so I just started sketching. Well, not just that, but well, the videos will be on the page, so you'll miss nothing, David. So now I'm switching to Illustrator. I will need your help to make sure that you are seeing it, okay? Usually I I don't trace my sketches because I think that doing an extra step allows me to refine that likeness, that details, those details. So I'm heading to, and let me make sure, and this will be the last change. Now, Share screen. So now I'll share my main screen. Hey Theodosius. Okay, so please, if you can tell me if you see a number 9, I would be very grateful to know it. Okay, good to know, Sissy. Can you see a 9 now? I'm trying to keep this chat. Okay. I'm trying to keep this open. See your comments while I'm doing the Illustrator work, which might take a little while longer. Perfect. So I choose a 9. I'll let you know. I'll let you guess why. No, there's no reason. Perfect. So first, I will paste my sketch here. Then please allow me to switch off my Cintiq. I don't use it, to be honest. I just use it here to share with you my sketches. And this is the moment where I choose the photos. When I have already decided how I want to show her, I will choose the photos that will help me to show her the way I am, not the other way around. So there is this extremely iconic image of her, which I really enjoy. But I think that there's some kind of uncanniness that maybe she doesn't look like her. But I really like the yellow background. I think I'll use this. And also I like that the purple tones. Also, as I did in with the sketch, I like her hooded look. Hooded? Hooded? Not hideous, eh? Okay. I really love this look for her. So what I'm doing is choosing many photos that help me to portray her. And I need one that shows me more of real her. Is where I discovered that her face is not thin. So I think that this will work for now. I'll switch to see your comments. Hooded. Okay. So I can raise 9. And then what I would do is to make like a kind of shitty thumbnail, like kind of map to get the colors right. I'm not a methodical person, so my process might vary from one drawing to another, if I'm in a rush, if I am not, depending on the subject, sorry. So I'm just showing how I would do grays in a kind of a rush. So now I would do, as I did the lines or the likeness thumbnail, I'll do the color thumbnail. So I like to know how I can do her from it's very bad. I just want to know which colors. I try to work with limited palettes, which I enjoy a lot. Like this. So then I love to, I know that with yellow usually purple would look good. So I will like to use this purple that you can see in the hoodie. I'm even picking the color directly. And then as I use gradients, I have to choose what could I use for from shading apart from black itself. So I'm creating this palette that will have this yellow, purple. Usually I use some other tools to create palettes to help me. I have this one quite clear because I really love the combination of purple and yellow, but I try to use like websites such as Colors for, let's see, Colors, which they give you some good combinations from a given color. Like I want to see what I could combine with yellow, or with I want blue and yellow, what else could I add to this palette? So it's colors.co. Now it's not loading, I guess, because of the streaming, but it's a good tool. Any design tool that allows you to create color schemes will work good. Especially, my idea is always the same: is create a unique piece, not to, I don't know, to use the drop thing to choose the colors. So I'll leave this loading. So I like maybe some kind of terracotta. I don't know how you say that color. Just kind of agile. I don't know, but it's. I want like a strong orangey brown. Maybe this one too much. So I used to fix my drawings after I finish them. Now I try to spend more time on choosing an attractive palette before drawing. Yeah, orange. I was suspecting you'd say that, burnt. So orange it is. I don't know. I think this one might looks good here. In a brighter purple, maybe like a bit more in the blue shade, something like that. And then I think maybe complement with some pink. We'll see. I can change it anytime. So from that, I have my color palette. I have a little bit of somehow how it may look with these colors I choose. Will it work? I have to change the black to a more colorful black to have a good gradient. Oh, I changed my palette here because, well, no problem. So I'll just, I think this might look good. Let's go back to where I had all the colors. Okay. David asked if I think it's really important to have my final palette. It's not my final palette, but I'm kind of I have real trouble in making decisions, and sometimes I would spend so many time going up and down with Photoshop controls, adding more contrast, like changing the colors. I would be like 2 hours to go back to the that I prefer to have like these 5 balls, which I am really comfortable with. So I have a stronger palette, and maybe not as many doubts with colors, to be honest. I'm using Adobe Illustrator. I think that there's Affinity out there, which is also cheaper. Any vector, I use very basic tools, so any vector program would work here. Thank you, Damon. Yeah, someone asked me to do her, and I thought that it was the best to show, also because of the 80s vibes that I want to convey in the latest touches. So let's go. Now, what I would do, oh, Sorry, David. I was telling this. Yes, I switched to choosing my palette beforehand, like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's really working for me. Even though later I might change it at the end of the drawing, I think it gives me a more solid look. Also, I have to think how will my shadows be, how will my lights be, and how will be my middle tones. So so I have a more contrasted piece instead of going to Photoshop and raising up the contrast at the end, which is also good when you're working with clients who want a vector delivery. So I'll choose my background, and maybe this won't be very dynamic. So if you want to draw your gray zones with me or whatever, I don't know, your choice. I usually have my shapes. In fact, I will pick them from another drawing I did, so I don't have to do them. Let me see. I'll try not to spoiler alert. It's because it's a client work, so I want. But I have here my shapes. Remember the puzzle I was showing? So here are my shapes, and these are the bricks I will use to construct my face. Oh, Vern, I'm married, but I don't know if in Spain it's allowed to marry more than one person, so we can check it out in our archives, maybe. Debbie, no, now I'm trying to do it everything in Illustrator. I sketch on a notebook, then I change to Illustrator, and I try to finish also with illustrators. However, if I'm not happy, if I lack some texture, if I need to change something quickly, finally I finish my work on Photoshop, which allows an easier way to give all these touches. So this will be my cheekbone, of course. Then I'll have I'm using mm, I will use the bright browny orange base. I always have these smart guides activated, which allow me to center pieces, to make them align, which is kind of my whole obsession, to align things so they have some kind. The alignments, the repetition may make it look kind of designy. I'm using a Mac from 2010, which kind of works here, still works. So I have. Was this the question, Scott? I am answering well. I'm using my mouse to navigate the shapes. So this is not as different as the process I used to when I made house plans, because I studied architecture. I'm actually an architect. Or when I designed some logos. So it's just taking your shapes, taking what you want to convey, what you want to express, and moving it around until you get the most efficient way to show it. And if it's on the way, it's also beautiful, but then we are lucky. So it's just like adjusting the sizes, the angles. It's so minimal that it's what I was saying before, that any millimeter matters for me. Yeah, I'm using mouse now. I use my Cintiq for the sketches. So you all can see that I use like a notebook and a shitty ball pen usually, wherever I have at hand. So I have like this shape now, and I would like to make the light come from the right, but have like a sexy white rim, maybe to give the 80s feel also. I'm trying here in my lighting sketch. I would like to do something like that. So I I made a copy of my shapes and I fuse them. So if I need to edit the shape, I can do it here, but now I can paint it with my gradient. It's been an hour already. This is horrible. Okay, I'll try to be kind of quick. I hope you're not bored. You can ask questions. You can draw your Grace Jones meanwhile. Mm, you see, I've got my favorite shapes. Now this will be my upper lip, upper lip, which I really love because it's one of my ready-made shapes. And see that someone could see them here. Thank you. Glad to know. I'm not used to drawing company, right? So I will try always. I try to find the balance between simplicity and likeness. So that's why I've tried to do the lower lip, just making a reflection of the upper lip. If it works, it works. If not, I would have looked for a more complex shape maybe, but I think that it quite works, so I'll leave it. So I kind of arrived to this style out from laziness of just, at the end of the day, I just wanted to like move around shapes. So the simpler for me, the better. And it really creates an interesting, I don't know, an interesting feel. So for instance, I think that this nose, rectangle nose, may work very well because she's got the, oh, I don't know the technical words in English, the things you have over your nostrils. They are not round, they are kind of straight. So I think I'll leave it this way. So now I had doubts with the eyes. Remember, if you squinty eyes, or I think that there's no doubt that the eyebrows are like an angle. So I will use a 30-degree angle. I always try to do or either 45 or 30-degree angle. And when I choose one angle, I use that angle all the drawing, in all the drawing. So I have some consistency? Yeah, consistency. Yeah, Spock eyebrows. I'm not sure if using 45 or 30. So I think that we'll try. In fact, as I'm looking for alignment, I will try to make the alignment of all diagonal lines in this drawing. This will be the arm, the cheekbone, and the eyebrow. So I'll just try it and see which would look better. like a Sudoku. Just trying to do what I put my own rules, like kind of graphic rules, and then try to get likeness, like trying to build a word with some given letters. Have you ever someone? Yeah, Hillary Clinton. It This was for some newspaper and took me like all night, like 6 hours, and I still was not very happy with her. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of a lottery. I it might take me like 20 minutes or 6 hours to get likeness. So that's why I'm trying to look at some kind of a method, just not to risk it. I see the question from Andrew John, who is asking for my relation with a painter name. No, I had to look it up because there was a teacher of mine in university who told me that if I could demonstrate I was Picasso's family, he would give me an A plus without working. But I wasn't able to find anything that could link me with the great master because she he should have been my grandpa, and I knew my grandpa, and he wasn't Pablo. Yeah, that would be Hillary. This sounds like her too. This Maori thing we were talking, it's symmetry. You can do this when working. So I think that if I'm not doing the eyes detailed, I'll try to do the squinty eyes I used on the sketch. So I'll save these ones just in case, and I'll choose smaller ones to work with the same angle, same 30-degree angle. That I really like them to be small. So I'm not sure which. I really like the thing that she has, that she doesn't look like quite straight, but I don't know if I can convey this with a such few detail. Thank you, Ivan. So I think that I liked more the previous one. So yeah, do you think so, Frank? I'll try them both. I'll treat. Let me see if I get them and use this, or I'm not sure. Maybe somewhere. Well, I leave them here. So I'll keep working and make the final choice. Or maybe prepare two versions and see which one works better. So big hair, I think that it's a lot. Look, just only adding a square, it looks like her. So I'll add all the fireworks with this. Yeah, but I cannot squash ovals because of my inner rules. I just use circles. I know it's crazy, but it's what kind of gives constant. Oh, this damn word again. This makes my work consistent. So this would be the hood thing. I see I used like a bigger radius to make the hood effect. I think that the likeness could use a little tweak, yeah, still. But now that I have kind of shape sketch, I'll carry on so I can adjust it later. So it will work with the whole composition. So I will make this, and they're kind of technical series of overlapping shapes. So I will make this purple strip, and I make this one black too, because I really like how black is this one. I think that higher, yeah, higher cheekbones may help here. Yeah, with higher cheekbones, I think I get a better likeness. So let's follow with the neck. I'd love to have a nice alignment, align it somewhere, which looks cool. Yeah, sometimes I am kind of superficial. I like things to look cool, just that. So something like that. Good question, Christoph. Sometimes I keep cheating, but for instance, there's the oval thing, which I don't like. I think it's just personal taste, but I don't like a squishing circles. I just feel better like picking a circumference arc. Like, I don't know, if I need a flat line like this, instead of just squishing the circle. It's some logo designers use that principle, and I really liked it, so I'm applying this in with my works too. So now I would like to do this fancy thing with a hoodie, and starting to get my, I don't know what is doing this here. So look at how the shoulder pads enhance likeness right now. I still like the sketch better, likeness wise, but sometimes I have to find a compromise. And at the end of the day, maybe not in 1 hour, maybe in two, in four, I find this a picture that I find attractive and that has got the likeness. And it might take me more or less. So I think this would be the neck, and this would be the other part of the hoodie, which will make it like a very solid kind of design, because it will look like a block, a color block, a person, which is I think I would try this, but maybe this will hide the cheekbone, so I will leave the hoodie behind. I always prioritize the likeness, but I'll try to find some balance. So I will also add that arm. It was, now I'm seeing that if I use 30-degree angle, the arm goes too far away, so maybe it's better to use a 45 angle. So maybe I'll have to change the angle here and here as well. Again, they are my rules. It's not a fixed rule. But I think that once I can start working with a final composition, with, I think the face could be more prominent. Something like this. Mm, like maybe I should go easier on those shoulder pads. Lately, I've been also working on adding some organic elements. Yeah, I love rubber visco. Oh, you were asking, Christoph, the well, I just work with the most basic shapes, and I kind of insist until I get the drawing with those shapes. It sometimes I need, like, the advantage of working with gradients is that I can cheat whenever I can make simple shapes to look much more complex thanks to the gradients. So will kind I will try to make a more extreme approach to the pose and see if it works. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you for being here. So, mm, sometimes I use gradients to show volume. Lighter colors appear nearer. So now you understand that it's an arm. One day I discovered that you can paste the things whenever. I really like the shoulder pad. I think it goes well with the whole geometric mode. Well, I choose this subject because of that. So now I would like to end this with a circle, and after that work a little bit more on likeness if possible. And if I don't get it by now, maybe I'll work on adjusting likeness offline before sharing with you my final piece. But as far as finish is concerned, I think that this is what I wanted to get. Some likeness must be perfected, but as a piece of kind of design. Thank you, Patrick. So now it's Patrick here. You know that there's a new caricature resolution in April. It's called April's Full Edition, and it's just to make this confinement a little bit lighter. Mm, so I'm just, yeah, some. So this is just kind of style stuff. So mm, now I'm like putting all this. The idea of this is just having this kind of hoodie ending with a fancy curve. See, the black is not the right one, so it's not. I don't consider this minimal because I do lots of things just for the sake of being like geometrical patterns or some kind of divertimento, we could say. Mm. Oh, there you go. Yeah, right. For me, it's. I think I said it before. It's like a Sudoku, where you have all the numbers and just have to find the best way to place them to get the amount right. So now I'm doing this little hand thing using the same angle with the hand, trying that it's not as important as the face. Maybe she's not that thin. So I don't know. I like to do this kind of funny details that add some depth. See that the alignment is the same than eyebrows. And let's see if we can have the cigarette aligned with the cheekbone. This is not only fun, but also when you have something aligned, it becomes more important in the composition. So I'll have this flying. I love to do flying cigarettes. It's from the comics I used to read when I was small. I'll add some, I don't know, some smoke to give some. Mm, so I'll have like this. This gives a. I I also wanted to do Grace Jones because with the 80s mood, I'm thinking of how the illustrations, old airbrush illustrations that they used, templates, no, stencils, and just airbrush the colors. So it's a bit what I'm thinking when I'm taking decisions here. So I'll try to make this airbrush effect, which I've been using lately, which I love, with some of blur, Gaussian blur. And I think this will help me to give this feel. And now it has somehow a reason because we have the smoke and we have that glow. Now with the hair, I like it better like with some angle as well. And I will try to use a texture if it works that I have. I have these brushes. I'm glad you enjoy it. Here I have some brushes which I bought in a Red Supply website. And I use them for shading, but here I will use them for the hair to give some texture. So, ah, first I'll save it because you never know when your Illustrator will crash. I don't know if Dan is celebrating the texture or will celebrate me saving the file. So I just want it to be like a little hint, nothing too shiny, but to have to tell whoever is seeing this that this is hair and not, I don't know, a helmet or plastic. Plus, it's again, it reminds me of a spray, and it could be like the average I was mentioning. I'll try another one of the options just to make sure that. Mm, I don't know if this too much. Maybe with another hairstyle. I prefer this one, which is kind of milder, even something more subtle. Just to say that. You're welcome, Lorca. Yeah, just to say that this is hair and to add some texture to the work. Now I'd like to see the way to connect also this hand with the body. I don't know if it's really needed. No, Sissy, it's I have this catalog. I have it in another file just so my computer won't crash. But I bought different, these are like different brushes, and I choose them in a separate file, and then I can change also their weight. And thank you, Aina. Hello. Please say hello to Aina, which is one of the best Catalan caricaturists in the world. I love her work. Please check them out. I don't know. I like to do them. I like to share my work, but I I don't feel very confident with that because my work is really spending hours like moving circles around the canvas, to be honest. So I always feel like it's kind of boring. I think that this textures was better. Hola. And now I will try if the same texture might work for this kind of glow. Let's see if it works. Ew. Not yet, not yet, but we're almost there. Okay. So I'll prefer the smoother choice, right? Okay, so I leave this more subtle. Again, if the little glow is more important than her features, I will go back. So I want to this is too much important for my taste. Yeah. Of course, art is not an objective fixed matter. So also to do this. Oopsie. I think this is not a triangle. It's a triangle but not regular. This one is, I don't know. If I'll see if this works better. It does. So it's not. Let's see what we can do with. Oh, glad you find this interesting. Now she looks kind of, I don't know how to say that. So this is when I have to find a compromise between my own rules, like my rule of 30-degree angle, 30. I'm trying to use this 30-60 square everywhere. But however, I don't think it works very well with the pose. So maybe I'll have to sketch back and forward until I'm happy with it. Maybe change the composition, maybe change the pose. So it's a lot of trial error. And it's what I find amusing, but I understand that might be kind of boring in a stream like this one. Like just try my rules. I don't know if I can add a finger so people can understand that this is actually a hand. So I'm trying to be very careful when adding the detail, because sometimes adding detail to a hand might mean that I have to add detail somewhere else, like the face, so it doesn't get lost. Now, nice to know. Yeah, the one of the upsides of this is that everything is already colored, right? So it's easy to see how it's turning out, and then we'll fine tune it. I still don't know how to put the hand. So, but now at least we know that this is a hand, right? So maybe something like this. Well, it's just different. When, for instance, I don't know, I obsess about, oh, I'm not going to use any 30 angles to do Hillary Clinton again. And it kind of gets upsetting. I think that you can read now a hand here, but I don't know if it's too elaborate for what I'm looking for. Let's try keep the hands on my hip. Or maybe now that we've got this angle, we could go for the pistol thing. Which I don't know if she's right-handed or left-handed. Sometimes I don't care, but at least I try to be kind of, oh, perfect, she's right-handed. So I'll try it. Hello. Maybe some hardcore fan could say, oh, she didn't wear the hoodie when she had the pistol. Well, I don't care. I'm just doing a general tribute to her person. I just want to do a beautiful picture. So I'll try to do a simple pistol, see if it works for my composition, and if not, I'll save the pistol for another drawing if it looks well. That doesn't work here. Look, that there is this barrel thing happening. I can use one of my shapes, for instance. And I can use the purple shading, something like this. You have the barrel, you don't have too much noise going on. When I say noise, I'm talking about things that might take the attention out of the subject. Okay? So we would have that a finger here, like if he was wearing some kind of mittens, and we still have the fill. Now, out of the blue, the other hand has more sense, in my opinion, but don't know if I'm keeping it. So we're having the, I think we're keeping the pistol. It adds more detail and it balances the two main elements in the composition. It's just like a symmetrical composition with the smoke, but also the gun, which could have maybe its smoke as well. I think this is fun. So I really like how repetition allows one to try things without much effort, right? I'm quite happy with that. Even now it just have a stamp in her hand. I'm going to do what's happening here. Whenever I have a element to mute, what the hell is doing my iTunes now? Okay. Oh, Control S. Thank you, Christoph. Control S. Yeah, you see, because of the. Did she have strong arms? Did she have thin arms? This is not Grace Jones. This is her strong arms, so I can be quite generous. Maybe this black triangle, this yellow triangle is too much. Maybe we can convey some leather thing happening here as well. I'm using shortcuts to bring things back and front to make my work much easier because I'm constantly moving things. I like it more with a triangle. We could read the shape much better. So I'll try to I don't know how you put the thumb with this thing. Maybe. Sometimes when I have no idea how to draw something, I just do a circle and hope this works. But the right thing to do is pick the notebook, draw it at hand, and try to make it work. So I'll try to do it here. Like, I don't want this detail to be too much. I don't know what to do here. Like, maybe I'll keep her just like black gloves. Oh, but then if she uses black gloves, this should be black too, which doesn't work at all. So I'll have to keep working, try to get this hand right, something like this. Better. Maybe the arm? No, I'll keep it black. Should I keep this black? I don't know. Oh, there are so many choices that what I do is let the picture rest. Just rest for a night, for an hour while I have lunch, and it's easier to kind of take decisions. Mm. So let's see this. I can use the triangle I use for the cheekbones. I'll use them also for the pencil. And I'll try to fix the hand. Maybe, I don't know, I'll work on the likeness a little bit before fixing the hand already. Now I've along this line, maybe I could make the pixel bigger just for it to be more important. Yeah, I think this works. I don't like this at all. And a new distribution. So there are so many choices that sometimes it's difficult to take them. But while we are more or less, I'd like to add some extra color maybe, because I love the 80s makeup. So I'll add some pink here. I really think that this needs some more likeness work, but it's really about adjusting lines. This is why I always say it's kind of fun to see it, because it's so different. It's such a different process, but then it gets to a point which is fine tuning, and it can take just hours to get it right. I want to try to add some this strong bubblegum pink. I have more cheekbones, and use it maybe on the lips. No. And to add some extra makeup mode here, 80s. Also, I would like to add this purple mid-tone light here. I think that might work quite well with the rest of the color. And if we can see the other eye, I think that I can make a stronger likeness. So let's see if I can bring it closer. And I think that this helps solves it. Yeah. Now I'd love to test one thing out that may look terrible, which is like clear eyes don't work here. Maybe adding some detail just to add more expression. That would be maybe not as adequate for a fashion magazine, but it's a funnier approach to likeness, because I like it. I think I don't know, I like it, and it helps with likeness. Therefore, default. I sometimes with I work in a male's fashion magazine, and sometimes I have to have some contempt. Contempt, no, is not the word. Like control myself from from going crazy. But sometimes it's we are doing some. We are at disco, right? So I think why not more hair? Steve says every time I think you're messing up, it just got better. Well, every time I just think I'm messing up. Period. Getting messy? She's not that messy, right? Got the perfect coat. Yes. So, and maybe the mouth could be more important. Equally shorter. Yes. So, guys, what do you think? Let's see if I can get the shadow in a nice shape, like behind the face. Not needed. Yeah, I think the likeness is quite there, right? I have to work more on the whole composition situation, which truly it takes me more than 1 hour. But I think that the likeness is there, so I would leave it here. I will work tomorrow more on the composition to make it right, so I can share with you the final result with a beautiful body and composition. But if we would like to just make this kind of composition with not so many elements, like a little thumbnail or spot illustration on a newspaper, like that, I think we have her, right? Like, thank you, Cici. I hope you had fun. I'm sorry it took a bit longer than expected, but I tried to be as thorough as I could. I hope you guys stay safe, take good care. Now I'll try to say like hello. I don't know if you'll see me. Hi. So stay for and please keep drawing, right? And well, now it's time for Tom Richmond, I think. So you can take this like 15 minutes to have a bite or even wash your hands, which is very important these days. Oh, nice. I felt like I was in a convention too. It was really nice to be able to interact through the chat. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. So hopefully I will share the finished piece tomorrow in the comments. Okay? Thank you so much for being here, for your good comments, for your questions. I don't know what time is it. Yeah. So I leave some room for Tom to prepare. Saludos, Freddy. Greetings from Barcelona. Bye bye, Lauren. Gracias a ti. Thank you. Bye. Welcome. You're